Good afternoon, everybody. So just getting another video out this morning before we get off to classes, and I just want to let you know that this video includes content for November 1st, today, Wednesday, and November 2nd, Thursday, tomorrow. And that's just because of the different lab times for Group A, Group B. I thought I'd just get one video out and get ahead on lectures for at least one day. So this includes November 2nd's single lecture as well. But we'll jump right into it. And so to get right started, we're going to get into reproduction, or not reproduction, embryology. And to start there, we're going to go to B&B, down to repro, into embryology, and then pharyngeal arches. And you're going to want to do all of these. This touches on all the derivatives, what each arch does, and so on and so forth. So lots of good content in here. Next, going to go to cleft lip and palate. And you're going to hit all three of these. And just make sure that your sort field is the same as mine. So these three right here. And then we're going to go into this last one. So do it all except for this card here. I don't know what the Pierre Robin sequence is, but I didn't think that was a key detail. So that is it for B&B. And then we're going to go down to first aid. Kind of the best section for year one, I think. At least that's what I've been advised by second, third years. So we're going to go into neuroembryology, 9, tongue development. So if you want, you could never mind. I activated some new cards. It looks like I had some other ones activated from previous days. So the new ones I activated are this one, these four, and then this last one. Has to do with like motor innervation. Yeah, I don't know why I activated this one. I think I did. It's something to do with the lecture from yesterday. I think I missed. Nope, it just changed. And I don't know where that card just went. Oh, this one. No, never mind. You don't need that. Make sure you get this one. Okay. Yeah, been up for a while. So make sure you get these four new ones and this last one because you should have these four already. So just make sure this arrow is correct up here in the corner, and then it's below these. These are the words to start it. And then we're going to jump out of embryology, go to anatomy and physiology, this huge section here. And we're going to go into 13, blood-brain barrier. Activate all of them, and then you can unactivate these three. You don't really have to know where parasites, mannitol, or astrocytes really are or how they're involved. It wasn't touched on. You can add them if you want the extra details, but trust me, you do not need extra flashcards in your deck right now. I have a whole bunch to do, so I might have a big Anki day tomorrow and push over 1,000 cards. But yeah, you don't need extra cards. I'll just support you in that we're kind of hitting a lot. And then we're going to go into the cerebral arteries and their distribution. So the ACA, you're going to do these first three. And then middle, just these for the first one and the third. And then the posterior cerebral artery, just the middle two. I thought that is what characterized what the learning objectives entailed best without going, diving down a rabbit hole, too many details. Then circle of Willis, this is a big one. So carotid artery, all but the first three. This one isn't a terrible card. I didn't activate it because I figured one less card to do. But if you would like it, you can activate it. And then these ones are going into pathology, which we don't need to know. So activate all of them, then unact or suspend the first three. Identification, all of them. This will help a lot. I know in the lecture that I can't remember the doctor's name who taught this one, but she recommended drawing out the circle of Willis with all the arteries. So here you go. Here's cards broken down for that. And then subclavian artery, none of them, because we didn't really go into that. And then vascular dissection, none of them. Vertebral arteries, none of them. And then 27, pathway, all of them. This was a huge point today. And then down here for the venous sinus thrombosis, all 3. So 27 should be all, if you just want to activate all of them. And then 28, we did mostly all of them if you want. So all of the ventricular system and then the cerebral aqueduct stenosis. I only did the 3rd and the 5th. These ones, like, I thought it was a little extra, so I figured 3 cards less. I'm just trying to really conserve cards here, not to do too many. So I figured the 3rd and the 5th one summarize that best because it's it's one slide. So I figured it's not due for 5 cards worth. And so that is it for anatomy and physiology. And then we're going to go to pathology because we got some good stuff about hemorrhages. So epidural hematoma, come down and hit this one and this one. These are just general cards to remind you what an epidural hematoma is, how it comes about, what it looks like, because it was one slide on a PowerPoint. So just what kind of to get your mind thinking of where it is, what it's from. That's the same for the subarachnoid. Do these 4, because this ties in a couple things, where it's at. And this one I thought was good because it shows you where it's at and it matches the slide exactly. And then these 2 go into the lecture from Dr. Clark about that yellow tinge to the fluid. And then your subdural hematoma, do the first 2 and the 5th. Yeah, 5th. Yep. There's more in here. If you want to look through these, you can. Maybe you like one of the imaging ones. I just figured no. But those weren't necessary. I think Dr. Clark mentioned he wasn't going to give you an image. He just wants you to know the concept, but I could be wrong on that. But I'll touch on that one before we end the video today. So that is it for here. And then you're going to come down to Blue Link because why not get some more gross anatomy? It's the best. Lots of terms, lots of terms. So hit the face, and I activated all of it. There's a bunch of bones. This is probably really redundant, but I figured why not drill it into your brain so you really know it. And so activate all of it. And you see I have some activated, but I'll go through that in a minute. So activate all of it. And then you're going to come down to where we have facial anatomy, like superficial. And so we don't need to know like the ala of the nose or the nasal column. So conserving cards here again. And then same down here. We don't have to know the mentolabial fold. We just have to know the nasolabial fold according to the lecture for Thursday. So, and then if you have watched the lecture for Thursday yet, or if you have not, there are certain muscles in the face that we do not need to know for didactic. And I was reviewing our dissection guides and I could not find any of these muscles on our dissection guide as well. So I went through and I conserved cards that we don't have to know. And I will double check this later in the blog to see, if these muscles are something we do have to know for our anatomy practical. In that event, I will make an announcement in a later video. We do need to know them and to just come through and activate all of these. But to conserve you cards, the way I'm going to do this is I want you to find a card here. Let's see here. There we go. So find this designation in your card deck. It shouldn't matter what number, as long as this arrow is correct. Just come down here from where you have the card for the auricularis muscles. Just come down 1. I'm going to move that to the top here and pause it. And you just count down, just so you're going to have these first, this one activated. Make sure this one's unactivated and just skip it like these, just count them through. Or if you want to, you can go through the PowerPoint and double check, but these ones you do not need. So the yellow ones, make sure they're unactivated, save you some cards. This is like a couple minutes worth at most, but yeah, have lots of cards. And then my last announcement I wanted to say is that there's a lot of Anki cards you can do. I mean, a lot. I'm not going to show you like I did last night because it's a ridiculous amount, even after doing 100 new ones today. So what I might do for my study attempt for the weekend is Thursday, I have nothing after anatomy, and group B, you have nothing after your first lecture of the day, unless you're behind on lectures. But it might not be a bad idea to get ahead on some Anki cards, get them into your rotation, because we're just kind of going through some raw memorization. So what I would recommend is coming here to settings, increasing this number. You can try 1,000. You can do a couple hundred more, depending on how many cards you have in a given day. Today I did 300 pretty much. But I think I might do my entire deck, and then that way it's just huge passes of information tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then hopefully by next week, I'm filtering some of that down. But I think I'm going to rely heavily on Anki for getting a lot of this anatomy memorized. And then in addition to that, I am going to make a PDF, unless someone beats me to it, and post it on Discord. I'm going to make a PDF of the images from the PowerPoints of this week to label. So like if you have Notability or wanted like a good notes or something that you can write notes on, you can write in the answers and label it that way. So, you have Anki and you have that other method of studying. And so you can choose whichever method of studying works best for you. I'm just giving you some ideas for how I'm going to attempt to go at this. My companion recommended a lot of image occlusion study methods this block. And so Anki is greatest for that. I mean, that's all a blue link, and it's a lot of the conceptual questions as well from first aid, but then that PDF will be all image occlusion with just a blank picture and a picture of a piece of anatomy with a bunch of lines, and you just got to go through and write. And so the answer keys for that will just be the lecture slides. So like I said, that'll be in the Discord page under the anatomy section. But if someone beats me to it, just check that out. But that's what I recommend. And other than that, good luck studying, and happy November.